Hi everybody! Welcome back to my channel and welcome again to another painting tutorial. Today I'll be painting an autumn leaf, a maple leaf. And today is Monday, Labor Day in the United States, and it's a holiday. That's why I decided to do another painting tutorial immediately following my tutorial I just did yesterday. So the colors that I'll be using for today's tutorial will be as follows. We have Oxide Black, yellow ochre, crimson red, burnt sienna, orange, lemon yellow, titanium white. So as you can see now, actually, my canvas paper, as you can see these bumps right here, that's because as I was preparing the colors, I accidentally splashed some paints on my canvas paper. That's why I painted it with white. I didn't have to, but I didn't want you to see those spots. So I'm gonna sketch first the subject. I'll be using my burnt sienna. I really love proceeding to doing the painting immediately after opening my video. I just want to do it right away. So I might do a little bit of adjusting um, because I tend to paint big, as I keep on saying. I keep on saying that I need to remind myself to control my proportioning um, abilities. Now, what I really love about maple leaf, I can't really talk. Uh, I think my English is broken. What do you think? Um, I think maple leaves are very timeless autumn symbol, or they are just very uh, what do you call this? They just scream autumn. You know what I mean? Like, can you think of another leaf that would best describe the autumn season? I think it's just a maple leaf, right? I mean, there probably are other leaves in town, but I think maple leaf are just timeless and very almost like a flower. You know that? Almost like a flower. Okay, like this. And then, so okay, the stem is right there. All right. Okay. Then the midsection will be right here, like that. So this will be painted over. Oh, okay. I'm just trying to show you how things are gonna look. Okay, I will make an adjustment right here. I feel like it's just wrong. All right, so this is how it's going to look like. So now I'll be using my yellow ochre mixed with burnt sienna. And I'm just gonna paint it right away. So I want you to just remember where you place your sketch lines. Okay, we will be doing a different technique of underpainting. You know, as we go, we'll be doing some multiple colors underpainting. Okay, we'll not be sticking with just um, this color. I'll be dabbing on some. I'll be dabbing on to my brown colors with a little bit of black just to tone it down, bring the dark colors. As we go, because we don't want to waste any more time. And then I'm gonna shift to my yellow ochre right here. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit of brown just to tone it down. Okay, and then brown mixed with red. So there will be, this is a different type of underpainting. I usually just stick to one color. But for this type of subject, or for this subject, let's do a little bit of a twist. And we're already creating the general look of the painting by doing this. Again, mix brown and red and a little bit of black to make some dark brownish reddish colors for the underpainting. Okay. Don't be scared to mix or to blend. Right here. Okay. I'm gonna add a little bit of this color over here. Okay, and then yellow ochre. Okay, like that. I love it. And then I'm gonna get my brownish, reddish colors. And then my brown and black. We're only playing with a few colors. That's why you don't have to think too much. And then some yellow ochre. Okay, it's very noisy around here. You can hear some car. I think they're like racing because it's a holiday. And if you're from the US, you understand. I mean, it's generally quiet here, but for painters, probably not the most quiet place. So I'm just using my yellow ochre. I'm trying to add a little bit of brown so that it's toned down, and I will do a little bit of adjustment. You like that? Oops. Okay, just adjust your colors. Okay, that's the underpainting. It's very raw. You can tell. Okay, now I'm gonna add some brown and black. Okay, but it should be like dark brown. It should not be like too black. Okay. And I'm gonna go around, okay, the shape of my leaf. Mhm. There's like an insect Did you see that? Like a little, it's not an ant. I don't know why I got it. I got it. I mean, I don't know how I got it. So I opened the window and then I think an insect got in. So I'm looking, I mean, I'm doing the edges of the leaf. This is to already give it shape. Okay. Make it darker. Okay. I'm gonna darken this. Okay. I think I have to use a thinner or angled brush. So I'm gonna use my angled brush. Gonna use my black and brown again. Let's do the, those parts of the leaves, the veins. Okay. I call them the veins, but these are actually the larger ones. So I can call them arteries, right? We'll do the veins later, the smaller ones. Okay, if it isn't dry yet, we can wait. Okay. Acrylics dry really fast, so we will not wait that long. Okay. All right, and then let's leave it like that. Okay, now I'm gonna get a new brush. Okay. I'm gonna get my lemon yellow plus yellow ochre. And I'm gonna water down so that uh, we create those markings. So I'm just doing some tapping motions on my material. I'm not really scrubbing. Let's start with the yellowish colors. Okay, and I will use, or I'm using my fingers in applying my colors because I'm like that. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna get my lemon yellow and I'm gonna apply it in the same manner that we applied the yellow ochre. This will be the brighter colors. Okay. Now I'm gonna get my orange and again apply it on the leaves. Okay, like that. And I'm gonna mix my red and orange to create some lighter reddish orange color, and maybe I'm gonna add a little bit of brown to that and black just to tone down the color so that it's not super red or super orange. And I'm gonna use some water to do some markings. Okay. I'm gonna mix my yellow ochre plus black. Then brown and red, just to thin down as well the black lines that we had earlier. We don't want too much, like too thick of a line. So for me to thin it down, I need to reapply. And like that. Okay. Also here, thin it down. Thin it down. Okay. And then yellow ochre and black, just mix them and then apply that mixture randomly. Okay, I'm gonna thicken black. Okay, now I'm gonna switch to my angle brush again. Gonna mix my yellow plus white. And I'm just gonna do some highlights right here and right here. Highlight the left side of each artery, as I call it. Okay. And then for this side, you highlight the right side like that. Okay. Here, you highlight the left side. Okay, like that. And then I'm gonna get my black, maybe add a little bit of brown. I'm gonna create the veins. Right. Just create the veins. And then using black, I'm going to darken the arteries that are proceeding from this point. Okay, just like that. Okay, and then using black, I'm going to darken the tip. Like that. I'm gonna try to find a smaller brush because, in all honesty, I'm really having a hard time with the details, especially that I'm using a smaller material that I'm painting on. Okay, I'm just gonna use my light yellow, so I'm gonna add white to my existing yellow right here, and we're gonna highlight the veins. The oops, sorry about that. I Okay, this time you like that. I'm going to highlight the top, like that. And then you highlight the bottom right here on the left side. I'm gonna get my pure white. Okay, top. Now I'm gonna do a little bit of smudging right here so that it looks more natural. Okay, like that. I'm gonna get more light yellow by mixing my white and yellow. Okay. And now I'm gonna mix my red and white. Okay. Let's do some detailing. I'm gonna use some just dabbing. And that. Okay, like that. And then I'm gonna use some more pink. So I'm gonna get my white and red, crimson red, and I'm gonna use a watered down version of that to create some markings. You know, there was this one time when I was doing this watering down my paints and applying them on my acrylic painting. Someone commented that, why are you doing that? It's not watercolors. And for me, there are really no rules how you do your own painting. If a style or if a technique works for you, then so be it. Okay, to each his own. Just because it's not normal does not mean it's wrong. And when it comes to art, there's no right or wrong. We're not in class. Okay, in class when we're studying art history. There is only one right or wrong. Okay, these are facts. But when it comes to the real application of art, the technique, the method, the style, you can always disregard the art history that you've learned. Okay, because again, art history, it's a fixed thing that does not work really well with your brain. Okay, your brain will tell you when you're making your art, your brain will always um, tell you to do what exactly feels right. Okay. What feels right, what feels comfortable. If a thing is right, but it feels so uncomfortable when it comes to art, you will be discouraged to do it, right? Okay, just a simple reminder and an advice as well. So I'm creating some markings. Okay, and then let's do this. Okay, right? Now we'll be doing a little bit of shadows so that it looks more 3D. Okay, so you can use a different brush for this one. We will go back to the leaves later. For now, let's just leave it like that so that we really allow the paints to dry. Okay, so I'm gonna use a clean brush. I'm gonna get my black and white to create some gray colors. Make it really light because any gray color will really contrast the white background that we have here. It's pure white, so don't worry if it's a little bit light. And now I'm gonna use the gray color to create some shadows. So first, this part. Make sure that your brush is wet so that when you do this, it's much easier. Okay. Okay. Doing some shadowing. I'm gonna lighten it even more. Go here. Can lighten the shadow by adding white. You can soften it a bit. Okay, I don't want too harsh of a shadow. I just okay, try to lighten it. Mhm. Okay, we'll go back to that later. Okay, let's go back to because my brush was too thick, so I couldn't really go into the details. But let's go back to the leaves. I'm gonna get my yellow. Okay, I'm gonna water it down again. And then I'm gonna use my fingers to apply it. Okay, I'm gonna get my yellow ochre. And then some browns. Okay, and then some blacks. I'm gonna get my yellow ochre. Can I mix my yellow ochre with tiny bit of black to make it look like green? Okay. And then using my angle brush or a small brush, gonna get my yellow ochre, start creating some veins over here that I forgot to do. Just gonna adjust this leaf or this part of the leaf. some pinks. Okay, and then some white. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna get my brown, my burnt sienna. I'm gonna water it down. And I'm gonna apply some watered down, almost like watercolors on the leaves. Okay. And then some yellow. Okay, I'm gonna brighten my yellow. I'm gonna use white and yellow. And some yellow ochre. And some browns. You know, you just have to like play with the colors that you have, because again, you can never really go wrong with this one. However, overdoing it will might not give you the best result. So I'm just darkening the tips. All right, like that. Okay. I'm waiting for this area to dry. Now I'm gonna brighten this area. Just gonna go around this area, whitening it. Okay. Okay. And let's go back to doing some shadows. Okay. Very subtle. Right, like that. Okay. I'm gonna use some like um, glazing or yeah, glazing but scrubbing method. Right. Some more browns. And some yellows. Find it really interesting. Okay. And I'm gonna make some markings, water down markings again. Have to redefine this. Got lost. Okay. I can see it from the viewpoint of the camera. It's nice. It's nice. Right. Do more shadowing here. Okay. Now using some watered down black, I'm just gonna create, the splashes. So like that. Be very careful with this technique because you might end up coloring your house. No kidding. Just kidding. Lightly. Okay. It looks more natural when you do this than actually going into one by one dotting. Looks more natural. And then I'm gonna do the same thing with the yellow color. Oops. The, the line got removed. I'll be adding some orange colors. Orange, but tone it down. Okay. Tone down the orange colors. Okay. Since we dirtied this too much, just gonna remove those unnecessary splashes. And you can keep them if you want to, but I'm not keeping them. Again, you may keep them because they kind of add a little bit of style, okay? But if you choose to stick to a cleaner painting, we don't need too much drama here. You can remove that. Okay. Right. Now I think I'm gonna have to glaze using my brown and black. Okay. I'm gonna have to glaze. Um, to darken some areas. Right there. Also here. Right there. Also here. Okay, just to darken some areas, give it a little bit of folds, you know that. Okay. I'm using some white. Let's do the same thing with highlights. All right. I like it. Here, I'm just gonna outline it. Mm. And using black, I'm going to redefine some lines that I got, that I painted over, that got lost. You don't want to lose them. Again, try to clean if you're like a clean type of painter, meaning you're not into like too much design other than the actual subject. Then you remove those splashes if you have those as well. Okay, yeah, I love it. It's very simple, right? I'm just adding tiny bits of details. And then I'm gonna brighten again this part. Mm. So I had to turn off the microphone for a few seconds simply because there was a fire truck or an ambulance on the street that is just disturbing my peace. Sorry. Okay. Okay, like that. Right, I think this is done, guys. Right, it's very simple. Right, very nice. I like it. So I'm gonna sign this now. I think it's done. And for the signature, I'm just gonna use my orange. I do have a lot of orange right here. And I'm gonna add brown to that because it's not gonna, orange is more of a translucent color. So I don't want any translucent signature. We're finished. I hope you enjoyed this one. Happy September 2025, and I hope you have a nice autumn season coming. I hope you enjoyed my painting session today, and I hope you paint along with me. If you like this video, let me know in the comment section below. If you're painting along with me, or if you've painted along with me in the past, let me know in the comment section below. See you in my next one, guys. Bye. Mm. Love you.